Hi, welcome back to part 2 of the Sega Genesis Classic Game Console review. I'm WizWar100, you're the viewers, and I'm the reviewer. So, today, let's see what Genesis does with its 80 built-in games. Intro! Wait, this isn't the plug-and-play episode. Hit the Dynaman music!
Last time, we took a look at the console in detail to see if it was worth your time and money. Want to know if it is? Then go check out part 1 on my site or the River City Gamers site.
Because today we're gonna take a look at the games. Also, I have to mention that after thinking about it, I'm going to do each game separately.
Because I noticed that if I talked about each and every game even for a minute, you'd be sitting here for 80 minutes watching me review each game despite doing it as quickly as possible. So in hindsight, I should have thought about this some more.
So that basically means I'm gonna have a lot of 80 part 2 point numbers. Yeah, but that means I'm bringing back the quickies.
Previously, I said that half of the games aren't even Sega Genesis games, but we're still gonna take a look at them. If they're great, then it's just as good as any Sega Genesis games. So let's take a look at the first game, Alex Kidd, or Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle if you read the manual, so let's do that. Alex Kidd's father's life is in danger. In danger of what? His impotence? Fortunately, facing danger is what Alex does best. Well, I'm not responsible for him dying then. To save his father, he must win round after exciting round of paper, rock, and scissors. Exciting? More like exasperating. Well, the game does have an intro, but summarizing this up, in order to save his father, the kid has to play rock, paper, scissors, which sounds like a horrible idea.
And guess what? It is! What the fudge were they thinking?
Now, I have no idea who Alex Kidd is, but with some help and some research, he was the previous official mascot for Sega who had his own series of games, but later on is replaced by Sonic the Hedgehog.
Good. But where did this Monkey King ripoff disappear off to?
Well, with some more research, he has made a bunch of cameo appearances in later games like Sega Superstar Tennis and the Sonic All-Star Racing games.
But enough of this online research, let's get onto the game!
Alex Kidd is a side-scrolling platformer game, kinda like Super Mario Bros., except not as good thanks to the floaty jumps and slippery movements, where you can use items like in Super Mario Bros. 3, which can be helpful if you can win them from the cheap-ass rock, paper, scissors game. Also, not only that, you have to collect cash to enter into these rock, paper, scissors game of death. Now, despite the game saying that you'll risk your life for it, you don't lose your life if you fail to predict what move they'll make unless it's a boss fight, which is good because you'll be losing it everywhere else in the level. Alex can only take one hit, no big surprise for platformers, but the thing with Alex, like I mentioned, is that his movement is floaty when he jumps and slippery when he moves, which gets me killed unintentionally. And that's not fun at all, especially when in some other platformer game I could easily avoid it, and plus you don't see everything on screen in time to avoid it and just die. Also, watch out for bombs, because as long as they're still exploding, even their dust particles can still kill you, which is unbelievably cheap. Thankfully, there are items that you can get that can help you through the stages if you don't instantly lose them, like the car that runs through enemies and breakable blocks until you crash into something solid. The pogo stick that lets you jump on enemies. Yeah, Alex Kidd can't jump on enemies by himself. What kind of platformer character can't do that? Maybe this is why Sonic took over. The copter pod, which is a piece of fudging crap because you have to keep it afloat by mashing the jump button quickly, which is annoying, but it does shoot torpedoes. Though a lot of the time the stage design renders these items useless. But my personal choice when I can get it is the item that lets you shoot projectiles, which is very helpful because your fist and kicks require you to be terribly close to your enemies when trying to hit them. The other items have passive effects like the staff that gives you flight, the cape which gives you invincibility from enemies, and the necklace which at first I didn't know what the Ajisen Ramen does, but I later find out that it reveals moves that the opponents will do in rock, paper, scissors.
Well, now it's a lot more playable, and thanks to the necklace, I found out that there is a pattern to the rock, paper, scissors game.
At first I thought it was random, but it just basically cycles its moves over and over again, always starting from rock when you enter, so all you have to do is keep mashing the rock move as much as possible till the opponent does scissors, which is always their next move. Though, the next time you do it, it's paper, then it cycles again, so when you enter into the rock, paper, scissors game, immediately start mashing the button for rock, and the next round use scissors.
Well, now that I found that out, rock, paper, scissors isn't as bad because it was super frustrating before as I kept losing money trying to beat the cheating, stupid, mother-ducking computer.
Oh yeah, you have to collect money to enter the game, which isn't too hard since they respawn when you die, but they do raise in price each time you win in each level, from 50 coins to 1,000 coins, and by the 500 coin mark, it's time to move on and beat the level. And if you thought the rock, paper, scissors game ends there, wrong! The story says you have to master rock, paper, scissors in order to win, and what they mean by this is you've gotta play the rock, paper, scissors game against bosses later on, which I got lucky on some of them. But you can use the necklace to see what they will do, and also this is where you can die if you lose at rock, paper, scissors. So that's what the message was for. The game does have variety in its level design, and secrets you can find by jumping around like a monkey, though some of the block placement is just questionable and the difficulty varies. Sometimes it's frustrating because of the controls and not being able to see or avoid enemies in time when transitioning, but you can continue the game when you game over by going into the options, which is kind of hectic, so eventually I beat the game. Music is alright, and the graphics are kind of lacking and kind of washed out, but vibrant.
For my final thoughts on Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, at first I didn't like it, but it's an okay game once you figure out the rock, paper, scissors game, and then all you gotta do now is fight the floating jumps and slippery movements.
The game contains 11 levels, so it's an average length, and if you want to find the game anywhere, it's on the Sonic Ultimate Collection and other collections as well. Personally, I would have liked a different game, but it's okay and you'll eventually beat it, but regardless, check it out. Check it out.
But there is not time to lose, so stay tuned for the next game on the Sega Genesis list. I'm WizWar100, you're the viewers, and I'm the reviewer.